Hey everyone, don't get anxious, get prepared. Your career engineer right here. And tonight we're going to cover some things that's about this 2026 market. So we're going to cover the following topics tonight. The 2026 reality check. We got to move from panic to pivot. Very important as we embrace our new normal. Evidence over experience. The 10-page resume ain't working. And we're going to tell you what you need instead. The portfolio mindset. We've got to know our contributions and be ready to shift no matter what, and we got to spring clean our career closet or your brush or your weeds, all that stuff. So remember, the chat room is open, discussions are open. Feel free to invite others, like, or all the stuff that you're doing, whatever place you're enjoying this podcast. This podcast. Oh my goodness, this show. How about that? This show. So, you know how we roll. We're going to get right into this and we'll have some time to take your questions too. So, don't go anywhere. I'm going to be right back. Yeah, it doesn't take me long to do what I have to do. So listen, again, thanks for being here. Remember, wherever you're enjoying this, like, subscribe, share. We enjoy your feedback and we thank you for your support. Get a question about what I'm getting ready to say or what I've said in the past, hit me up at info@tcenow.com. That's info@tcenow.com. I totally enjoy your questions. And of course, visit me everywhere, tcenow.com, right? So let's talk about some of the things going on. As I'm doing this tonight, trust me, I have seen the news. I know some of the things that have happened in the last 24 hours of this broadcast. So we keep it real here, real talk about the real world. And a lot of us are anxious about a lot of things, not just our career, our lives, our business, our families. But the best way to beat anxiety or being anxious is to get prepared. So we're going to talk about some things with that. And I want to give you two R words that I was thinking was perfect for springing into our future, right? We're at the time we're talking right now, it's the spring season. It's March. We'll have some rain, we'll have some blooming flowers, we'll get to see the season all over again. But I want to introduce you to two other TCE concepts that we want to do. One, we're talking about real alignment, and I'm playing on the word realignment, right? REAL, for real. This ain't a time to be fake. This is not a time to be counterfeit. Let's get some real strategy and intention as we realign our career, life, or business. And we're going to talk about still re-engineering. A lot of us may have a car that's 5 years old, 10 years old, or maybe you're that person that gets a new car or a new vehicle every 2 years. You know what happens? It was re-engineered. Something that was there either doesn't work anymore, or something that's on this car now was upgraded, or a whole new part. So we're going to need to do that in our career, life, or business to get through this month. Heck, to get through the whole year. And I'm going to talk about how we can think about those two things: realignment, real alignment, and re-engineering in our career, life, and business. Okay. But let me still deal with the elephant in the room. I mean, the 2026 market. This time last year, we were dealing with in March the downsizing and the shock of all the stuff that was happening in the federal government and every other industry attached to the federal government with, downsizings, layoff. You come in on a Tuesday, on Wednesday, your whole department disappeared. We're still trying to understand what happened there. And some folks are still waiting for the dust to settle. I need y'all to know we standing on a brand new floor. Okay. Don't sit here and wait for things to go back like they were. This is not gonna happen. We're in a whole nother ball game right now. So I want folks to those who are waiting to get back to normal, stop. Normal has that whatever 2025 was has done its thing. It was what it was, but today is what it is. I said that earlier on television because I want you guys to really get that part. It's very important to get that part. Okay, so if you're waiting before you make a move or re-engineer, realign, because you think things are going to be better or things are going to go back, you're already mistaken. So let's not play that game. Okay, because we want, the best way of being prepared is to get prepared and not be anxious. So the folks who stopped mourning what happened in 2025, okay, because I mean it was painful and we grieved. I mean, some of us some employees right now are not getting paid. in the federal government, the Department of Homeland Security. So these are just uncertain times, uncharted territory. But I got to tell you, the ones who are going to be focused more on re-engineering their world are going to be the ones that are going to win. Okay, that's going to win and get in position to have a better experience, whether their jobs transitioning, whether they're doing some new skills. We have to grieve, do the Kubler-Ross grief thing that we had to do, but now we need to get realigned and get re-engineered for whatever our next is. And it's important to think about your next. Don't just do this without any kind of a plan. We need to think about our next. Okay, so I got to deal with the room. I was looking at some of the numbers. I see your comment there. I'm going to get to you. I was looking at some of the numbers. And here in my state, the unemployment rate as of the recording of the agency that takes care of all that was 3.6%, which, did go up a bit. But, for the federal, it was 4 something. So Virginia, we're still under, but we did go up. So come on, you guys have seen what happened the first of the year. We understand things are still kind of shifting the way that they were shifting. Yeah. So there is no new normal. I mean, well, I don't know. One of you are asking, is there a new normal? Hey, thank you for your support. I think what it is, I'm stuck on it is what it is. Normal is going to be a construct or a concept that we're going to have to define a whole nother way, because I just think things are a little different now. All right. So, but let me see, there were some other things I want to say about our economy right now. The thing that I think I'm seeing, I mean, when we had the downsizing of in the federal government for exactly all those folks who lost their jobs or they flooded the market, what's happening now, we have a huge pipeline of people with a lot of experience. I mean, 20 years, 15 years. And experience is great. Don't get me wrong. It's a good thing to have. But what we're finding in today's market is employers are looking for like a pitch deck, right? So the 10-page resume just ain't playing the game. It doesn't have the bang it used to. But what does is, what can you do for me lately? What can you do now? And that person with 20 years, 15 years, 10 years has got to think in sound bites. The 2-page resume is the deal. Your profile on LinkedIn is the deal. Your 30-second pitch deck is the deal. So this is what I need to know. What can you do with all that has happened? All kinds of stuff, cross-functional training, how you're engaging with AI and other tools that are necessary in your industry. We got to show that. So the big word for this spring for our realignment and our reengineering, I'm looking for new growth. We're looking for new growth. And that's the new currency of 2026. Now, some folks are saying this is evidence over experience. I'm leaning to evidence and experience. I love experience. I think experience is valuable. The wisdom that comes with knowing what you know. But what's happened is some of us know what we know, and that's it. That's it. We're not applying it. We're not showing evidences of applying some of this new, the information we've known for a while into some of the new scenarios. And that's where evidence is kind of out. Evidence of proof, but proof that you can do this thing versus I've been sitting in that chair for 10 years. So here's an example. Let me put this in short terms of what I mean. Here was an analogy. So, okay, you're going to tell me you've been sitting in that chair, sitting at that job, doing whatever for 10 years. Great. Well, I don't want to hear that you've been sitting there for 10 years. I want to know, how did you redesign the chair that you're sitting in for 10 years? It's a different kind of mindset. And it's going to take some time for some of us who are big experience folks to get that shift. Now, if you've got both, if you've got the 10 years and you redesign the chair, that's golden. But it's a whole nother different way of thinking about this whole thing. So that's where the currency of the marketplace is right now with all that's going on. So this is why the realignment part is so important. That I'm not telling you to forget everything you know and all of that. We're not saying that. We just have to realign. Let me try to use another mechanical metaphor. I mean, those of us that have cars that drive on tires, right? I mean, they do, right? We drive on tires, great brand new tires, $1,000 a pop tire, $200 a pop tire. We need 4 of them. Well, if you drive on them for a while, over and over again. You may not need to get new tires, but I bet your alignment can go off because as you drive the car, there's bumps, there's potholes, there's things that might make the steering not the best. We need to get alignment. Okay. We need to get things straight because of the bumps and the things that we rub up against in our career space, in our business space, in our life space. Our alignment gets off. So we got to get back aligned, real aligned. And in that same process, you might be thinking about a new vehicle, right? The whole re-engineering. So I'm trying to give just some real factual ways for you to see the difference here. We're not saying scrap everything you know. I'm not saying that. I would never say that to folks. But I do understand that applied knowledge, applied experience in cases of this year. I know I did some things pretty cool in the 90s and in the 2000s and in the 2010s. But what you've done in 2026 with all of this that's happening, and if you've got a story and push button talent to show your evidence of being adaptable, oh my gosh, is that the good stuff? So this is where we are, and wow, it's very important. So by doing that, I want to give you this couple of content. Now I'm going to be blogging with more details on some of this, but from panic to pivot strategy, people have been panicking for 11 months, still panicking. Stop. We got to pivot. You guys know I like my word called shivit, but we gotta move from panic mode. We never make great decisions when we're panicking. Never, never. It's always a bad deal. So let's get our pivot, which is the realignment, which is the re-engineering, which is finding out what I need to do in my industry. That's, what's the latest thing? How is technology impacting what I'm doing? And beyond technology, how about just digital literacy? Maybe I'm using my phone, my mobile device. Well, am I optimized? Like, do I really know how to maneuver that thing? That it might make what you do at your job a lot easier, or even what you do in your life. So some of this is the simple things that we have, but yes, certain industries have specific skills, some upskilling that's involved. So take the class, do the certification, but don't just get stuck on the certs. I need you to apply the cert. Okay, show ways that in the gray matter areas that you've applied some things and that it works with your experience and your new knowledge, and learning from some of the other generations you might be working with is very, very important. So again, we got to go from panic to pivot, and when we do that, we definitely want to bridge in this alignment and this re-engineering. So again, the market would say, or some of the people who are maybe smarter than me says, trade experience all the way. I'm not feeling that. I want you to combine it. I want you to let that be your foundation, but you know how to build you're agile. Okay. You're flexible. You can take new data visualization, for example, and still combine that with what you know from the days of your textbooks, right? And make it happen, make something work. That's what we have to do. And we have to have evidence of being able to adapt. We've got to have evidence of it. We can't just say, I know AI, or I'm using. You have to show how you're applying it to real use cases, right? Like real stuff that's in the workplace today. So in cross-functional skill training, you cannot just know your one thing anymore. It was great 10, 20 years ago. Ain't happening now. You're building a portfolio when you know more than when you know more. Yeah, this is live. What can I tell you, people? Thank you for the call, but I can't answer it right now. But when you have a bigger portfolio that has more different skills, not even just in your specific industry, makes you more valuable. So you can shift in any economy. And I got to tell you this right now, for everyone, if you haven't upskilled since the time we talked this time last year, learned something new, went to a training. Hey there. Hey, Dwayne. Love it. Yeah. Pivot, not panic. That's my big thing. Thank you for being here tonight. If you haven't upskilled since this time last year, you are already behind. There is no excuse for not learning. Everyone has to be a forever learner. In the industry you're in, you could be in what you might consider an analog industry. Nothing's going to change here with technology. Oh, yeah, it will. Yeah, it will. And even if it's not tech, it's going to be one of those essential skills: collaboration, communication, time management, things of that nature that you're going to have to know about. Okay, So pause for a cause. I think someone is I'm going to need the person that's if Tony, because he might be where I am, there might be someone knocking at my door. I'm gonna need him to assist me to see who's knocking at the door. Hey, this is live. What can I tell you? It happens. It happens. But yes, we have to be able to adapt. We need to be able to adapt. One more thing I want to get to, and hopefully he can. This person is still knocking at my door, so I'm gonna need Mr. Tony to help me with who's at my door. We need to diversify our garden. Okay, we need to diversify our garden. Again, I'm trying to do the spring metaphors. Hold on, guys. I'm going to have to tell the person that I'm at the door. So I guess Mr. Tony can't hear me. He is in the same place I'm at. So I'm going to have to, I'm sorry. Y'all can go ahead and put something in the comment. I'm going to have to pause for a moment to get the door. Or someone's going to have to get the door for me because someone's at the door. Okay. Isn't the economy. It's having only one type of gift or one type of talent. I'm going to say that again. That's what some of the things are coming in here. It's not just the economy. It's about having one type of, you got one thing. That's all you got. You got one thing. And 20 years ago, that was fine. No more. Okay. So we have got to make sure that we're making our portfolio something that is so powerful that no matter what shift happens in administration or what shift happens in the economy, you're still relevant. You're still relevant and you still can do the things that you need to do. All right. So I call that, engineering your career portfolio. We got to have more than that one thing, which means we still need to be a forever learner. And one of the, again, I'm going to have more on this when I blog, but one thing I do want to share that's very important on this topic here, it is a whole sea change, guys, because in the old days, old days could have been last year, I don't know, but job security, that's what everybody wants, right? Everybody wants job insecurity, but job security was, I got 40 hours, I got a 9-to-5 gig, got my paycheck at the end of the week, I've got my, I've got a pension, or I've got those things. I got my employer-based health. That's job security. That has changed. Okay. It has changed. Now we're finding, again, this is what some of the literature is saying. And I'm, saying this and counseling this with my folks that I'm, talking with. Now we're finding the security. Forget the word job, just security is about your portfolio of your skills. That you've got enough skills. And when I say skills, we're talking those essential skills. There's the human element, the human technology, collaboration, communication, persuasion, complex problem solving, things I'm doing right now, right? The world has changed. We didn't used to do this a lot. Now folks are doing it all the time. The ability to talk and the ability to communicate and understand how to use the platforms to help you to do that, right? In addition to the training that you need for your industry, only you know what is the latest thing in the sense of it's required. So you take the class, you go to the Google thing, you go to your workforce development space somewhere in your town or your city, or you go to university, a community college or a four-year college, or you go to the conferences, you get the certs, but you also have to have a space to apply that stuff. That builds a portfolio. That makes you valuable no matter what happens, because you get a couple of different tools in your toolbox that might be digital tools as well as the traditional tools, right? I was talking with someone about, HVAC and plumbing and those kind of things. And we understand right now, AI isn't able to do anything with that yet. Notice I said yet. But even those jobs that are very hands-on and human-centric, my sink is overflowing, I need someone to stop the leak. But there may be tools being used in that industry that requires you to have an aptitude for technology, applications, mobile devices, things of that nature. So if you don't have that, in addition to the thing that stops the water from flowing all over your floor, you're still not going to be as secure as another firm that can do all of that. So we need to go to work. We need to re-engineer. We need to realign, and we can do this. We can do this. And I want that to be your mission this month. I'm going to do that, share a lot more about that this month in my blog and some other things we're going to be sharing. But I think that's going to be my focus for the entire year. helping people to get realigned and reassigned and refined and re-engineering their career, their life, and their business for times such as this, to reduce the anxiety and to make sure we are prepared. That is the only way to reduce your anxiety, is by preparation. So don't get anxious, get prepared. We're here to help. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, by all means, hit me up, info@tcenow.com. You can find us all over the internet. I am Googleable, the career engineer, tcenow.com. Be blessed, be prosperous. I will catch you next time. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching our Career and Business Show. I hope you learned a lot about today's topic. If you enjoyed the show, please let me know by visiting our website, tcenow.com, and sending me an email. I'd love to hear from you.